Hello everyone, and welcome to my bold and beautiful gossip channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It was a dramatic 5 days in Los Angeles, and the bold and the beautiful recap for October 28th to November 4th included a shocking moment when Hope tripped, literally, and Steffi fired her. What happened in Los Angeles? View the daily summary overview of each episode below. Brooke interrupted Hope and Carter's conversation, which heightened the tension. She obviously halted their office shenanigans, and the two spent the remainder of the episode describing their relationship. They simply stated that they cannot yet put a label on what they are. They're moving cautiously and watching what happens. Meanwhile, Brooke wondered if they were serious. She inquired about Carter and Katie, Heather, Tom, a few times, but basically she wanted to ensure they were finished. Carter stated that they were now friends, and that was most likely all there was to it. However, Hope and Carter advised Brooke not to inform anyone about her new romance. Brooke agreed. Steffi, Eric, and Ridge met in the CEO's office to discuss Carter's pitch. They couldn't believe he had such extensive plans for Forrester. They all believed they were running a family business. Carter's proposal would have brought in too many investment bankers, which they did not want. Steffi wanted to know why now. Why did Carter release this pitch on them at this particular time? Her guess? Hope was manipulating Carter. Steffi mentioned how Carter had been on her side not too long ago, and now he's lobbying for HFTF hardcore. It had to be Hope's doing. Finally, Hope, Carter, and Brooke discussed what Brooke saw when Steffi unexpectedly walked in. She quickly wanted to know what they were discussing. Steffi was not playing. She wanted to know what Hope, Carter, and Brooke were discussing. They lied, saying their conversation was about Carter's vision for the company. Steffi had to inform him that she thought the plan was too grandiose and not very Forrester. And if he wanted to know what Ridge and Eric thought, he'd have to ask them. She also warned Carter about Hope's deceitful tendencies. He reacted by telling her that he did not have a feeble mind. Then Steffi begged to speak with Hope alone. Steffi attempted to get to the heart of what was going on between Hope and Carter. She was certain that Hope was using Carter to help save Hope for the future. Meanwhile, Ridge and Eric were on the same page about Carter's big plan. They believed it was all wrong for Forrester. Later, Ivy and Electra entered the room. After being asked to pitch their brand, Eric and Ridge approved the jewelry line revamp. Brooke and Carter had a conversation elsewhere. She still felt the need to determine whether Carter was actually interested in her daughter. After all, she needed Carter to be 100% committed to having Hope's back. He verified that he was, and unlike Liam, he refused to waffle. Finally, Steffi fired into Hope, reminding her that her line was only still alive because of her. And if she crossed the line with her husband again, she and HFTF would be done. Carter overheard and interrupted the heated conversation. He warned her that she had no right to endanger Hope or her line. Steffi should not use her role as CEO to punish her. Finn and Steffi snuggled up at home. Neither wanted to go to work, but they knew it was necessary. Before parting ways, they talked about Steffi's employment concerns, specifically Hope and Carter, and how she didn't think they should do the jewelry line. When Steffi departed for work, she forgot to bring her iPad. At FC, Hope and Carter were alone in their office when he remarked that Brooke's bedroom designs had arrived, and he looked at them. Hope, of course, flirted with him and had to remind him that he had been fantasizing about her in lingerie again. Later, Brooke went in and asked them to recall where they were. They've already had close calls and have stated that they wish to keep their condition private. Carter eventually decided to go talk to Ridge about any decisions made regarding his strategy. Meanwhile, Ridge and Taylor discussed her broken heart syndrome and how she was improving. She even went to Grace for a checkup. The doctor was pleased to learn about the entire chakra healing session they conducted. Carter stopped their conversation to inquire whether there had been a decision on his suggestions. Ridge was a little defensive when Carter insisted that this was what Forrester needed to do to progress. Ridge believed they were already doing this, and that no decision had been taken. They all needed time to reflect because this was a significant deal. Carter hoped Ridge was on his side in this, and he mentioned Steffi's tendency to let personal disputes interfere. Finally, Finn entered Hope's office with a tablet Steffi had left at home. Of course, Hope had decided to change into one of Brooke's bedroom ideas. She thought she was going to surprise Carter, but instead it was Finn. The awkwardness intensified when she tripped into Finn's reluctant arms. Steffi walked in at that exact moment and found Hope dressed in lingerie in Finn's arms. She quickly cried, "Hope, get off my husband right now." Steffi wanted to know what the hell Hope was thinking, and when Finn left to go to work, Steffi demanded to know what was happening. Hope attempted to explain that she was not dressed like way for Finn, but she remained silent when Steffi asked for a name. That was all Hope needed to accomplish, so she didn't say anything. Steffi dismissed her. Sheila dressed up as a witch for Halloween and even decorated Il Giardino. Deacon wasn't as fond of it as she was, but he went along with it since, for starters, it was too late to change. Carter went by for pizza, and Deacon had the opportunity to chat to him about how Carter had his daughter's back. He appreciated that someone at Forrester stood by Hope. Back at Forrester, Brooke and Taylor talked about Hope and Steffi being on opposing sides. Brooke felt relieved that Carter had Hope's back. Taylor argued Hope's side of the story and mentioned Hope kissing Finn, which was why Steffi didn't trust her at all. Brooke reassured them that nothing would happen between Hope and Finn again. Taylor and Ridge were alone again when Steffi stormed in and told them what had happened to Hope and Finn. She also told them that she fired Hope and hoped that her father would support her decision. When Katie walked in, Hope was dressed in her regular work uniform. Katie told her aunt what had transpired and promised to have her back. She did not believe Ridge would approve of this termination, but she would say a nice word for her niece. Meanwhile, Carter went to Eric to share his vision for Forrester's future. Eric liked all Carter did to prepare this pitch, including the research he conducted. He pointed out that in order for this to happen, Forrester would have to take out loans, putting him in debt for the first time in his life, which Eric would not allow. So, it was a no for him. Hope stepped in on Ridge, Steffi, and Taylor to convey her point of view. She claimed it wasn't what Steffi expected. After all, how could she have known Finn would be there at that particular time? Unfortunately, Hope did not specify why she was dressed in lingerie in the office. She realized how it sounded, but Steffi stated that she would say anything to save her line, including lying through her teeth. Steffi cautioned Hope repeatedly, and she was aware of the consequences if anything else happened. They were no longer backing HFTF, and this purported girl's girl had to go since she was a phony and a scam. Ridge and Taylor saw Steffi call Hope what Stephanie, Susan Flannery, called Brooke so long ago, another Esty from the Valley. Steffi wanted Hope out now and promised to deliver her belongings. Hope suddenly confessed to Charlie and other Forrester employees in the corridor how pleased she was to be a Logan, which Stephanie eventually accepted. Ridge told her to leave, so Hope took the walk of shame to the elevator. Steffi expressed gratitude to Ridge for his assistance. His facial expression indicated that he knew he would be in problems with Brooke sooner rather than later. Then Hope dashed outdoors, where Carter, driving a convertible, pulled up, came to a halt, and then stepped out, curious about what had transpired. Hope informed him that she had been fired and requested him to please take her away. After they kissed, Carter looked at the Forrester Creation signage and remarked, "They're not getting away with this." This week, we begin at Forrester Creations, where Ridge talks with Lee about how doctors in Europe misdiagnosed her. He believes she would be more receptive of her diagnosis if it came from Lee. She admits that it is a serious condition, but Taylor does not appear to be treating it seriously. Hope enters into a meeting with Carter, who has some excellent news for her. The line's stats are improving, thus hope for the future is no longer in decline. "I have hope and hope for the future, professionally and personally." Zen tells Will that he will adjust to his new role as an intern. Zen smiles, admitting he was distracted by his ambition to design, but he knows Will is thinking about the women that work there. Liam steps in as they prepare to leave for lunch. He wants to know why Will is there. Will teases him about Liam's greeting. One of the interns, Lainey, Heidi Angerman, walks in and congratulates him on his new position. Zen laughs as Liam wonders if Bill is aware of the situation. Hope wonders how long it took Carter to compile the figures. She admires his work, but despises that he spent several nights on it. She could need the victory, though, because things have been stressful. Carter knows Hope kissed Finn, but he can't criticize her since he's also lost himself in the wrong person, Quinn. Hope laughs, realizing they had more in common than she thought. Ridge suggests that Taylor seek treatment with all of this, considering that she does not want to discuss it with anyone. When Brooke steps in and asks what they're talking about, Lee tells her Ridge is doing the right thing by supporting Taylor. Liam doesn't understand why Will didn't speak with Bill first. Zen gets a call from the editing room and needs to go. He tells them to be courteous. Instead, Liam offers to take him to lunch, knowing that Will is going to be written out of the will. Hope asks if she still needs to model lingerie if things are improving. Carter laughs that she doesn't have to professionally, but he wouldn't mind it personally. When Hope questions about his relationship status with Katie, he answers he's free and single. Brooke pressures Ridge for information, then questions Lee about Poppy. Lee says they are taking things one day at a time, and then she says she has to go for the hospital. Brooke doesn't believe they were talking about Luna, and she knows they were definitely talking about Taylor. Given what happened to Steffi, she accepts that it is something she will have to grow used to. Brooke is usually concerned when Taylor comes to town. Ridge hugs her, but Brooke doesn't seem convinced. At Il Giardino, Liam says he understands why Will is drawn to working at Forrester Creations. Lainey and Tony arrive just as Liam is arguing for being his brother's wingman. Liam recommends eating together. Brooke tells Ridge about Will's internship, and Ridge urges her to inform Bill. Brooke claims Bill is stressed because he is pursuing Katie while she is hesitant. Hope taunts Carter about being a bachelor and tells him that he will find the right person, despite the fact that she knows he does not need a woman in his life.
Sure would be nice, he says.
He could say the same about her. She enjoys how easy it is to chat to him, and they both chuckle. It appears that a relationship is brewing. Lainey hopes Will had a fantastic time at Forrester Creations. Will deflects, claiming Liam is a huge thing at Spencer Publications. Liam displays images of his daughters, noting that they resemble their mothers, Hope and Steffi. The women both enjoy working with Steffi and Hope and admire them much. Will watches as the women fawn over the images. Hope enjoys Carter's close attention to her line, but he insists on looking out for her as well. She isn't catching up on his clues, which indicate that he is applauding her as much as her line. She criticizes him for being dreadfully hopeful, but he responds by stating she deserves the best, and he believes it is on its way. Hope says that this year has been difficult, with Thomas relocating to France and taking Douglas with him. Carter says she's a terrific parent as she sobs and admits she couldn't make it work with Liam and Thomas. Carter claims he has his own horror experiences, such as leaving the altar to be with a woman who later abandoned him. She asks if a nice man exists, and Carter responds that he has been standing in front of her the entire time. He caresses her face and leans in, and they soon begin kissing as if their life depended on it. According to the bold and the beautiful spoilers, if there is one thing we have learned about Sheila Carter over the years, it is that she is easily influenced, but no one can manipulate her. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Will Sheila manipulate Hope? That is why many people wonder if someone like Hope Logan will be willing and ready to work alongside the most well-known villain in this imaginary town of Los Angeles, especially because they both have the same goal in mind. That is, both Hope and Sheila want to remove Steffi Forrester from the picture. Hope has had a crush on Finn for a long time and will do anything to be with him. That kiss they gave her was more than just a kiss. Sheila only wants her son back in her life. She adores him and wants to be a member of his family. But it won't happen with Steffi Forrester in the way. Steffi is determined to keep Sheila away from her family, and she believes she is the most dangerous person she has ever encountered. So, with the two of them sharing the same goal and plan, will Hope cooperate with Sheila's plan? Many fans of The Bold and the Beautiful can't help but wonder about this. There is a lot at stake here, and Hope is unsure whether it is worth the risk. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. What's next for Sheila and Hope? Hope is an educated girl who is set in her ways, but is she willing to travel down the dark side with someone like Sheila Carter? Only time will tell. Of course, The Bold and the Beautiful fans will have to tune in every day to see what happens next. The Bold and the Beautiful airs weekdays on CBS. Check the local listings for times. For the time being, please share your ideas in the comments box below. In the meanwhile, check back here for the most recent information and spoilers on your favorite daytime TV shows, including The Young and the Restless, The Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives. Taylor from The Bold and the Beautiful was just diagnosed with broken heart syndrome. Although the writers are turning it into a dramatic plot, fans have questioned it. However, Rebecca Budig is defending her character's story arc. Broken heart syndrome is real. When Taylor returned, it was clear she was harboring a secret. She was dying of heart failure. After she revealed her sickness to Ridge, he persuaded her to seek a second opinion. Taylor's visit to Grace revealed that she had broken heart syndrome, not heart failure. Although it sounds made up, broken heart syndrome is a real condition caused by stressful events, as Budig discovered firsthand. I wasn't familiar with it, the actress told Michael Fairman on TV. But I know someone who has had a broken heart and has had a lot of symptoms similar to what my character's going through. Not that she was formally diagnosed, but I do think that it is a real thing. Regarding the criticism of the tale, Budig adds, I've done a lot of things over the years. This isn't as insane as some of the things I've done. Budig's past soap opera roles include Hayden on General Hospital, Greenlee on All My Children, and Michelle on Guiding Light. Bribery, blackmail, attempted murder, and drug smuggling are among the crimes committed by her past roles, providing a dramatic contrast to Taylor. Taylor's broken heart syndrome tale, while not as extreme as previous ones, is nevertheless dramatic. The writers are exploiting Taylor's diagnosis to hint at a possible Tridge reunion. Ridge, concerned about Taylor's health, spends more time with his ex-wife, which irritates Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang. Taylor doesn't need to quarrel with Brooke, but one dispute could place her in the hospital, with Ridge by her bedside. Brooke interrupted Hope and Carter's conversation, which heightened the tension. She obviously halted their office shenanigans, and the two spent the remainder of the episode describing their relationship. They simply stated that they cannot yet put a label on what they are. They're moving cautiously and watching what happens. Meanwhile, Brooke wondered if they were serious. She inquired about Carter and Katie, Heather Tom, a few times, but basically she wanted to ensure they were finished. Carter stated that they were now friends, and that was most likely all there was to it. However, Hope and Carter advised Brooke not to inform anyone about her new romance. Brooke agreed. Steffi, Eric, and Ridge met in the CEO's office to discuss Carter's pitch. They couldn't believe he had such extensive plans for Forrester. They all believed they were running a family business. Carter's proposal would have brought in too many investment bankers, which they did not want. Steffi wanted to know why now. Why did Carter release this pitch on them at this particular time? Her guess? Hope was manipulating Carter. Steffi mentioned how Carter had been on her side not too long ago, and now he's lobbying for HFTF hardcore. It had to be Hope's doing. Finally, Hope, Carter, and Brooke discussed what Brooke saw when Steffi unexpectedly walked in. She quickly wanted to know what they were discussing.